Major WWE UFC crossover plans plus so much more. We're going to talk about it right here on The Angle Show. Don't forget I'm giving away this championship belt at 100,000 subscribers. Welcome back to TAS. I, of course, am Ango. I'm going to kick things off with some Bayley news. If you guys have been paying attention, WWE is finally turning it up a little bit with the women's division, both on Raw and SmackDown. But Damage Control is the one we're talking about today because it looks like Bayley is going to be moving into a top babyface role. And the good news is, I don't think WWE is going to make us wait that much longer for this to go down. Now, if you guys missed Friday Night SmackDown, feel free to check out the highlights on the WWE YouTube channel. But for those who missed it, Asuka joined Damage Control. Now, what was really interesting is on Saturday, there was actually a digital exclusive that dropped. And part of this video was Bayley entering the room filled with Asuka, Dakota Kai, Kairi Sane, and of course, Io Sky. When Bayley entered the room, things got quiet. And then when they exited the segment, they all pretty much did it under the leadership of Dakota Kai. And it's got me thinking that Dakota Kai is in fact going to be the next leader of Damage Control, because this entire time Dakota Kai has seen how Bayley has become a major problem for this group. And I actually really want WWE to keep Damage Control together with Dakota Kai as the leader, but have Bayley turn babyface. And it looks like WWE is putting it out there. That is what's likely to happen. The good news is, people will take Damage Control a lot more serious without Bayley. And also for Bayley, this is a great way to change things up a little bit and produce some fresh content, because by her becoming a babyface, potentially aligning with Bianca and Charlotte and everybody else who's a babyface, she's going to be over as a babyface. Damage Control will get over as a group. And I almost feel as if Damage Control is going to take a note from Edge leaving Judgment Day. If you guys forgot how that all went down, they turned on Edge, and that really changed everything for the Judgment Day. And we would not have the Judgment Day that we have today if it wasn't for Edge being booted. And that's exactly what's going to happen to Damage Control. I found it very interesting that they all listened to Dakota Kai when it came to finishing that segment, when they decided to walk out together. I found it very interesting that Kairi Sane forgave Bayley. She didn't forgive Bayley. That was just under the, orders of her boss, which is Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai isn't cleared to wrestle, so by her being the leader of Damage Control, maybe they spruce up the look a little bit. Maybe they change Damage Control a little bit from a visual presentation standpoint. People will take Damage Control more seriously. By the fact that they have Asuka in the group, now with Kairi Sane and Io Sky together, Dakota Kai kind of being the one who is making the decisions, it works out really well in their favor. By Bayley becoming a babyface, them turning on Bayley, I expect it to happen at Survivor Series and War Games. And when it happens, I think it is going to be next level. WWE really needs to focus on big storylines for the women's division. We're starting to see them dial it up a little bit. It's fantastic to see. It's not going to be changed overnight, but Raw and SmackDown has definitely increased women's wrestling and value of it in the WWE in just the last 3 to 4 weeks. I want to turn our attention to Randy Orton. There's been some rumors that Randy Orton would come back into WWE and immediately get into a major title situation. However, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select reported that it is not true, as they have been told that it hasn't been broached. This is extremely interesting considering that Randy Orton is cleared to return. We are expecting Randy Orton to return in time for Survivor Series, with rumors coming out that perhaps Randy Orton will be announced ahead of time, so this way people aren't expecting CM Punk in the War Games match. And I think this is fantastic news. But just as we talk about Bayley turning babyface, Randy Orton will get a massive babyface reaction. But I don't want WWE to hold on to that for too long. I want WWE to turn Randy Orton into a monster heel. I want Randy Orton to be another part of Cody Rhodes' adversity. Because in order for Cody Rhodes to finish the story, Cody Rhodes needs to have a very, very good storyline that gets him out of the Judgment Day bullshit. And the way that happens is with a heel Randy Orton. So I'm hoping WWE understands with Randy Orton coming back and not having a major title, this would still be a major feud without a title on the line. And if WWE ever does want to change course and put a major title on Randy Orton, you have Seth Rollins waiting for him. Now, of course, this really ultimately depends on whether CM Punk is back or not. I know you guys are tired of the CM Punk news. I'm sure everybody is. But if CM Punk returns to the WWE, CM Punk needs to be in a major feud with Seth Rollins. And I feel like that would be massive for WrestleMania 40. So if CM Punk were to return, go to the Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble, Cody still has an opportunity to get to SmackDown and compete against Roman at WrestleMania 40. He could get in the Elimination Chamber match. But CM Punk would have to win the Royal Rumble at that point. And that's why I'm not too worried about CM Punk showing up at Survivor Series or not. I'm more worried about CM Punk returning in general. And I think Randy Orton coming back ahead of time, becoming a monster heel, will ultimately be great for WWE. Randy Orton being a top heel, CM Punk being a top babyface, it could work for a while. Right now, there's a huge issue in the WWE where there's too many heels. So maybe WWE might want to hold off on Randy Orton turning heel. We might have to have Randy, Jey Uso, and Cody fight against the Judgment Day every week on Raw. And boy, we do not want to see that. But if we get a Randy Orton heel turn and he doesn't have a major championship, at least there's still a major story there. And that's going to bring us to our final topic of today's video. Dana White speaking about potential crossover scenarios with the WWE. And more specifically, he opened up about his relationship, more specifically with Triple H. If you guys missed it, UFC 295 was this past weekend. Triple H and Dana White sitting together. Dana White talked about this a little bit in the post-fight press conference. He opened up about his relationship with WWE. He said, listen, if there's something there like Ronda Rousey going over there or Brock coming over here, whether we were with them or not, if that was the case, we would do that type of stuff. The relationship has been incredible. Vince McMahon has been an amazing partner, and I've always liked Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. So yeah, we're having a good time with those guys. And then what was really funny was he was even asked a little bit about a potential storyline within WWE. And he says it's all in the past. We're pals now, we're buddies, we're friends. And the world of sports and entertainment will never be the same. Guys, Dana White is very open to the idea of crossover stuff with WWE. Logan Paul showed up in the UFC with the United States Championship shouting out Dominic Mysterio. He's sitting ringside with Triple H. The UFC have used WWE superstars in video packages to put over certain fights. It's not necessarily going to happen right away, but I do think long term the UFC and WWE working together with some sort of crossover could be massive. And I think we're going to see something go down at WrestleMania 40. Dana White has a lot of great fighters in his roster, but so does WWE. And I don't expect WWE superstars to necessarily get in the octagon, but I definitely expect UFC fighters to go into the WWE, and I think we're going to see something go down at these major pay-per-views. Now that the UFC is also building a relationship with Saudi Arabia, thanks to Vince McMahon making the call, I can also see UFC fighters being involved at Crown Jewel in some capacity. At the end of the day, this could be a really good thing for the WWE. We already know it's a good thing for the UFC, but how does it benefit the WWE? We're going to find out. I want to know what you guys think of today's video. Don't forget, I'm giving away this championship belt at 100,000 subscribers, so go ahead and click subscribe today.